Simone does not need to be canceled. She needs to be censored. Let me say that again. Aunty Simone does not need to be canceled. She needs to be censored. We said we was going to talk about it, and here we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel, where we discuss healing, humor, and hot topics. Today, the discussion is hot topics. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a Married to Medicine review a couple of weeks or months back. And what I've been doing is I started my YouTube channel in order for me to do show reviews because I genuinely love TV. I'm always watching TV. I have a lineup every night and day of shows to watch, right? We are now up to season 10 of Married to Medicine. Yes, season 10 of Married to Medicine. And we're up to the first episode of the reunions, right? So, the reunion, right? I think the reunion is 3 parts this year. I'm excited. I'm excited because some drama went on and unfolded this season that I kind of could foresee because it's with the main characters, but then it was like some plot twist that I didn't foresee that I kind of fake enjoyed. So let's get into it. All right, as everybody else does, I'm not going to do because this is just not my ministry, but I know everybody likes to talk about the fashions of the folks at the reunion, what they had on, who lost weight, who did what. I will say this, in my opinion, I'm not enough of a fashionista to really judge who gown came from where and who made up who face and who's who stylist. What I can say was I loved everyone's makeup. I think every cast member there, their makeup looked absolutely beautiful. It looked very natural. If they did have a little bit of drama to their makeup, like case in point, Phaedra, it wasn't too much that made her look crazy and theatrical. They had just the right shades on. It went with their gowns. I think the ladies look pretty. I think they look pretty. Like I said, I won't judge the gowns because I'm not enough of a fashionista to do so. There was some that I'm like, okay, girl. And then there was others that was like, But either way, the ladies look beautiful. They look beautiful. I don't know if it was the lighting or the makeup artist. I can't tell you. But what I can say is the ladies looked absolutely beautiful face-wise. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it, right? Let's move on to the folks. First, I'm going to talk about my girl, Sweet Tea. I pretty much don't have a different feeling about Sweet Tea than I had the last time. This is what I will say about Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is a reality star amateur, right? Let's be fair. Sweet Tea is a reality star amateur. To my knowledge, this is her first reality show. So once again, she's showing up as her raw, authentic self. I like that. What I do see in Tea with her being her raw, authentic self is no matter how old she is, she just gives me immature. She gives me immature. I don't think it has really anything to do with her just being a reality star amateur. I just think she's immature for her age. She does a lot of really kind of so to speak, goofy things that to me, you're looking like you're a grown woman. Why'd you just do that? So one of the things that she does that I don't particularly like is she throws tantrums, right? So you ever, with young people, right? And you're like, they like, can I have a piece of candy? And you're like, no, you can't. So they ask you again, can I have a piece of candy? No, you can't. They be like, why? Oh, you get on my nerves. They just start doing that's like a tantrum. Sweet Tea reminds me of that, especially when she cursed Dr. Jackie the fuck out, right? Because in all fairness, I know what folks are going to say. Hey, if you're on a show, we're all adults, blah, 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 right? I get all of that, and I'll say this as a grown woman who is over 40 years old, but there is a certain respect that you carry for your elders. I'm sorry to say, I don't care what show we're on, there is a certain respect that you carry for your elders, right? And I feel like Sweet Tea showed her immaturity in those moments because instead of her just being able to verbalize like, I don't like what y'all do. It's not fair. I feel like X, Y, and Z. I'm being ostracized, so on and so forth. She just blurted out, fuck you. It just came across like a tantrum. So now the whole room is looking like, are you okay? And that's also how Dr. G was looking at her. And I think that Dr. G is a little embarrassed because he's a man of a certain age and he's an elder. And he also knows that it's just a certain way you carry yourself with elders. And it's also a certain way you express yourself in certain settings. And Sweet Tea doesn't do the best with that. I feel like when she gets overwhelmed, she does what I call throwing a tantrum. And it makes her look really immature. Most times, in all fairness to Sweet Tea, she has a point. She has a point. It's not like what she's saying is wrong. It's her delivery that's so off that it makes you look at her like, what are you talking about? And once again, even in those moments, everything that she did to Dr. Jackie, I could understand why she had those feelings, but the delivery of it was so poor that it made it look like she was in the wrong. And I was just like, here we go again. But to me, she tends to do that. I think she expresses herself much better when she's in her green screen. And I think when she's in her green screen without Dr. G. Because a lot of times when they're in there together, they give you like weird and cringy. Because she keeps saying things and looking at him and doing this little stupid giggle. And, you know, she doesn't seem like she's herself. But when she's in green screen alone, she can express herself freely and calmly and get her point across accurately. So for me, I feel like Sweet Tea can get a pass because she is a reality TV amateur, but she also has some growing up to do just as an adult, period, right? She gives me immature. That's Sweet Tea, right? Okay, let's move on to my girl, Faye Faye. So Phaedra, I said this to you guys in the last video. Phaedra is asleep at the wheel, right? Phaedra is asleep at the wheel. Phaedra is asleep at the wheel. But that's what I felt last time. Let me give you guys what I feel about Phaedra this time, because I have a little different feeling, right? So, of course, you've seen Phaedra go through the transition with Quad, and you've seen just some things that, you know, it was out of character for Phaedra. What I got from Phaedra is Phaedra is traumatized. Phaedra is traumatized. Faye, Auntie Faye, I think you need to come get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session. I think you need to come get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session, Phaedra, because what I saw with Phaedra is so traumatized about what happened on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and how everybody sided with Candy and how she got iced out and how she was no longer on the show and how the fans turned their back on her. And, you know, all of that. I feel like Phaedra is so traumatized from that experience that she is doing her best to stay away from anything that looks remotely close to that, even if it's going to make her look like a bad person, right? So the reason why I say that is because even with the comments she made about, oh, you know, she didn't really want to side with Quad because she didn't want to go down with the Titanic.
This is the ghetto.
Anywho, so like I said, in my opinion, Phaedra is really traumatized about what happened. So because of that, she don't care what it's going to take. She's trying to stay totally and completely away from anything that's going to cause her to be iced out, because she's been iced out in the past and she hates that feeling, right? So I think with the Quad situation, I think, and this is just my opinion, right? Her and Quad were closer in friendship, right? And I think Quad came and gave her version of the way she was being treated by these ladies. When somebody comes to you with their version of the story, it's always in favor of them, right? It's always in favor of them. So when they're telling you, you like, right, yeah, oh, that's not right. Oh, that's not right. So I think when she went in, it was like, wow, you know, let me try to help Quad, you know, make a comeback, because she's been treated wrong by these ladies. But I think once she befriended the rest of the ladies and got to hear everything that was going on, Phaedra was like, oh, no. I see this. This looks all too familiar, and I do not want to be a part of another situation like this. So let me ease and back out of it, which is why I think she wasn't really doing anything and participating and showing up to work on this fucking show, because she's so traumatized about what happened on the last show. My suggestion is, Phaedra, come get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session so you can show up to work and be productive and not have to worry about and operate from what happened in your past. That's over and done with, right? So whatever it is whatever it is. I just feel like Faye, you know, you just might need to come get your healing heart session so you can move forward in your profession, because you are, and I don't care what nobody say, you my girl, you are reality TV gold. When Phaedra said, you know, they brought back up like, oh, they said you messed with Dr. Gregory and you said you didn't mess with Dr. G and yada, yada, yada. And he said, well, y'all did mess around, but the reason why I couldn't continue is because you said you needed a stipend of $4,000 a month and so on and so forth. So Phaedra was like, well, I did not say that Dr. G is lying, right? So they going back and forth, Quad and Sweet Tea, saying, well, they don't believe Dr. G would lie, so on and so forth. Phaedra said, okay, you know how to close this conversation out? If I did ask him for $4,000, obviously you didn't have any. You married him and you married him. Okay, moving along. Yes, Trey Faye, yes. Love the shade. Love the lighthearted, you know, shade. I love Auntie Faye. She's reality TV gold. She is a nut and I love her. I just love her when she shows up to work, and you got little glimpses of that at the reunion, but throughout the season you really didn't, because again, Phaedra is absolutely traumatized from what happened on the Real Housewives of Atlanta with Candy, right? Okay, moving on from Faye. Let me get to Dr. Alicia. It's not much to say about Dr. Alicia. I think Dr. Alicia's a nut.
Wait, let me show how fabulous Dr. Alicia looks.
I think Dr. Alicia is one of those people who I act like I'm quiet and I'm nice and I sit around with this stupid looking smirk on my face so you could think I'm airhead and I don't know what's going on. But when I get comfortable enough or you push my buttons enough, you will see that I'm totally and completely nuts. I think that Dr. Alicia is a nut. I like Dr. Alicia. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she's a very educated woman. I think she can get in the ring with them. I just think that she doesn't have her feet on solid ground. So she was being a little apprehensive to show who she really was. But again, you kind of saw glimpses of it during the season and at the reunion, right? One of the things that let me know she was a nut from the gate is when she was explaining, I don't know if you guys remember because this went really quickly, on one of the early on episodes, she was like telling a story to Dr. Kimmel about something that happened at an event and she was trying to describe how dramatic it was. And then she just jumped on the table on all fours. And Dr. Kimmel was like, and I was like, I mean, to get your point across, Dr. Alicia, you didn't have to do that, right? It just looked really weird and out of place. So you could tell she may slightly be a nut, but she may be a nut that's needed for the show, right? So I like Dr. Alicia. I would like to see a little bit more of her and Dr. Kimmel. Dr. Kimmel was all right. He didn't really, I mean, again, he said he wasn't eating punani and all of that. Me personally, Dr. Kim ain't my man, so I don't care what he eat, right? So I just like, okay. But I would like to see more of them, especially because I like the fact that Dr. Damon is relating to Dr. Kimmel because I feel like Dr. Kimmel is a little bit more outspoken than Dr. Damon, and he might bring out some more from Dr. Damon that we need to motherfucking hear about him and Dr. Helvenly. Okay, got it. Moving right along to my girl Toya. I disagree. I know this is my unpopular opinion, but I disagree. I see a lot of fans saying Toya hates Quad and Toya is jealous of Quad and Toya just wants to live free like Quad. And I don't agree. I think Toya genuinely enjoys her wifey lifestyle where she can just lay up and massage herself with tennis balls while Eugene works 23 out of the 24 hours a day and goes out of his way to please her. She can still say how she's unhappy so he can go 10 more extra miles to do it. No, I don't think that Quad wishes to be single and mingling. I mean, Toya wishes to be single and mingling like Quad. I totally disagree. I think Toya is very happy with her life. I think Toya knows that Quad is full of shit. That's the long and the short of it. And I'm sorry, I have to agree with, I think Quad, we're not on Quad yet. So I think Toya is aware that Quad is full of it. And I think that Toya, in my opinion, is a girl's girl, and she do like to have friends and, you know, friend groups and, you know, to come together and be able to be good girlfriends. And I think she knows that Quad can be very disingenuous with her friendship, and I think that Toya is fed up with that. That's my opinion. So I think that every time Toya, because she's a girl's girl and she loves to have friend groups and girlfriends, she tries to, like, you know, have hope for Quad to, you know, come back and stand on her word and apologize and be sincere. Quad does something else disingenuous to prove Toya's point of, see, I knew I should never let this phony bitch back in. And I think she's fed up. And I think she has all right to be. So everything that Toya said on the reunion, I agree with. You're not normally sincere with your apology. Normally it's, I'm sorry, but a lot of things have been done to me too, and all of that, right? This time it sounded, like she said, it sounds more sincere this time. Let's just see if it's proven after today. And I agree with Toya. I agree with Toya, and I understand Toya's frustration. I like Toya. I don't really like some of the things she do regarding her man and, you know, so on and so forth. But other than that, I like Toya. Me personally, if I was in that friend group, I would be friends with Toya and Dr. Simone. Those would be my homegirls. That would be Aunty Simone and my cousin Toya, right? You know, because I like that Toya, you know, she can come back and be forgiving and loving as a good girlfriend. She also can be the girlfriend that's like, yo, you playing yourself. you know, and she is also a person that's willing to apologize and forgive, because I like the way she came full circle with Mariah. How Mariah had a physical altercation and Toya was still able to be like, but you know what, girl, we can get back. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Lucy and Mariah jumped on Toya, and she still was able to get back. You know what I'm saying? The Detroit and her let her, you know, come on down and get back. I like that. So I personally think that Toya has every right to feel what she feels towards Qua. I actually agree with what she feels, and we'll just see how things pan out after this, right? Okay, Dr. Heavenly, I told you guys, and I'm gonna stick to this. Dr. Heavenly is there for TV. And I think that, I don't know. I think this might go up in smoke, because on one token, I feel like Dr. Heavenly is reality TV gold, and she is what keeps the show running and going and pumping. She's a ghost producer. I can appreciate that about Dr. Heavenly. But the reason why I kind of feel like this might go up in smoke is because people like Jackie and Simone keep saying things like they would leave the show if they have to leave their friends, and they're really cemented in their friendship before it comes to the show, and so on and so forth. And I don't think Heavenly is on that same page if it doesn't involve, you know, her being able to climb in the ranks on the show. I think she would sacrifice anybody to do so. And if it's really about friendship for some ladies, but really about the job for others, how well is that gonna gel? And the reason why I totally believe that is because I feel like a lot of times with Dr. Heavenly off camera, like she said, she wouldn't say and do a lot of the things that she says and does, which is very disrespectful to her other cast members. She just does it because it's good for TV. And my thing is, I'm not going to be that you play with to make good TV. Play with somebody else. Right? And I think the only reason, because people try to make it seem like she's so close with Dr. Jackie, she loves Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is Married to Medicine's star. Okay? She's the Giselle of Married to Medicine. She's actually the medicine and the marriage on the show. Okay? She's the first chair. Okay, she's the Michelle Obama. So they're not getting rid of Dr. Jackie. So what did Heavenly do to be able to maintain her status on the show? She went and she buddied up to who's in charge there. Because if you remember the very first season that Heavenly was there, she was trying to make good TV and have smoke with Simone and Jackie. But she saw Jackie ain't the one to have smoke with. So now let me make that my bestie and come between her and Simone. So again, Heavenly is good for TV. I don't think Heavenly is a good person in real life. And again, I don't know the woman personally. This is just my assessment from the TV. You know, with the whole, because I'm going to just say this and take it back. It irritates me. What irritated me even more, and it just confirmed my thoughts about Dr. Heavenly, is when she used the P-word against Dr. G. That really bothered me. That really, really bothered me, because I remember when Lisa Nicole insinuated that she may be alcoholic because she's always drinking Crown Royale out of a coffee cup.
Heavenly thinks her life is perfect.
That is not true. That is not. You gonna sit here and lie? I never said my life was perfect. You look at my life compared to yours is perfect.
You have a drinking problem and call it coffee?
That's wrong. Dead wrong. On top of that, your debate wasn't even with him. That was unfair. But again, for me, what I feel like is it makes good TV, so I'm willing to sacrifice anybody to do so. Is that going to work up against some of these women on the show who are saying, my friendships are not contingent upon this show? I'm friends and I love you and I care about you in real life. Some people here don't do that. I.e. Heavenly, I.e. Quad. We'll see how that works. I just want to let you know, Dr. Heavenly, that was foul. And what I personally feel is, if I was Dr. G, I would sue you. I'm sorry, I would. Because in my opinion, Dr. G might be a little scared of Dr. Daddy, Dr. Damon. So he's not going to want that smoke. And Dr. Damon is coming full throttle, 10 toes down behind his wife. So in order for me not to have that physical smoke, which y'all got to do what's best for me and protect my medical reputation, I would sue you for a lot of money. That's just me. But we'll see how that pans out. In any event, Dr. Jackie. Do I want to go? Yes, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie. I'm I want to tell you guys something, and I know that this is going to sound harsh, but just the reality of it is. Dr. Jackie is not sorry she said what she said. Dr. Jackie is sorry that it offended y'all. I'm sorry to say, that's the long and the short of it. In my personal opinion, I think Dr. Jackie still right now, today, feels that very same way. I think that Dr. Jackie said it because that's how she feels. I think Dr. Jackie would stand 10 toes down behind it if she didn't feel like it offended so many people. That's just my genuine feeling. I do not get the feeling from Dr. Jackie that she feel like she said anything wrong. I don't get the feeling from Dr. Jackie that she feels like what she's saying is wrong. I think that Dr. Jackie thinks she's very valid in what she expressed, and she feels like what she said is the truth. I think the issue comes in because so many people were offended by what she said that it started to affect her medical reputation. And that is what she's apologetic about, not about what she feels or what she said. Sorry, ladies, that's how I feel. What I will say is this, Dr. Jackie, me personally, I'm not a mom. I've never been in labor. So I wasn't more so personally annoyed with Jackie about her being a medical professional saying it. I was annoyed with Jackie about being a non-mom and saying it, if that makes sense, right? Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not a parent, please read the room. Please read the room and listen to this part very carefully. It's just certain thoughts and opinions that we may have about parents that we cannot say publicly, and we just probably can't even say to the parents that we're connected to. We may have to keep those thoughts in our head. Sorry. I'm sorry. Because it is dangerous to express an opinion from a space that you have never sat in. Okay? And that goes for anything, but it definitely goes for parenting. Parents are very sensitive about being judged, about parenting, about pregnancy, about anything pertaining to that. If you have never gone through that process, I think it's wise for you to keep your thoughts and opinions to yourself. And if you are going to say them publicly, you have to be very careful about what you say because you do not know who it can offend. If you're not going to be careful, be prepared for the backlash that you may receive. As a non-mom, I have said on this channel 5 billion times that is not my experience. I work with young people. I live with young people. I'm related to young people. I mentor young people. I'm constantly around the youth. So I have experience in working with, being related to, and everything under the sun. But I have not had the actual chance to give birth to a child. So because of that, there are some thoughts that I have that I keep to myself until I have the actual experience. So I think for me with Dr. Jackie, I think she was full of ish to say that she was sorry. Well, to be honest, that's what her apology said, though. That's what her apology basically said. I'm sorry I offended you guys. Not I'm sorry with what I said. Then she tried to make it seem as though she was shifting her opinion when really she wasn't. I'm just standing 10 toes down on what I said. I'm just upset that it hurt you. Maybe you shouldn't have said it, Dr. Jackie. How about that? But what was the most wicked of them all was to try to shift the blame somewhere else. Now, this is the part where it got nitty-gritty for me, which is where I'm going to go into Dr. Simone and Quad. Their package, like it came together, intertwined because in the end, they were wrapped up in each other as the show came to a close, right? Let me take a little sip of my water. If you guys notice I'm drinking water, I'm not sipping from any alcoholic beverage. I'm on my water. I'm going to make a video about that too. Wink, wink. Okay, here we go. I am team Simone, right? Let me just be clear with that, right? And I saw everybody saying, either does Simone need to be canceled or cancel Simone. Aunty Simone does not need to be canceled. She needs to be censored. Let me say that again. Aunty Simone does not need to be canceled. She needs to be censored. Number one reason is because she's a staple on the show. She's needed. She's the medicine in the marriage. Hello? The name of the show is Married to Medicine. Not to mention, every black family should have an Aunty Simone. Should have an Aunty Simone. An educated, powerful, not afraid to say what they mean, stand 10 toes down, motivated black woman in their corner. Right? So every black family should have an Aunty Simone, right? But in your family, that Aunty Simone can sometimes come out and say some outlandish-ish in the heat of the moment that you're like, Auntie, I know you had meant well and stuff, but that wasn't nice. Or, Auntie, you and your feelings and you kind of went a little too far. Right? Because with those aunties, they really don't mean any harm. But they are so entangled in their emotions that they just can't help themselves. So Aunty Simone does not need to be canceled. She needs to be censored, right? I get that part. But we're not canceling her. Okay. For her, I think Simone's frustration is number one. Heavenly is a menace. I don't think Simone approaches this opportunity from a reality TV standpoint. I think Simone approaches opportunity from a group of friends coming together to do reality TV. I don't think she approached it from a, oh, I'm just trying to get on this show to make a good show to get the ratings, to get the money. She's a doctor. She's going to get money, right? I think she approached it with the mindset of a group of friends coming together to do a show. So I think anything that happens outside of representing the friendship, it bothers her. Right? It really, really does. Because remember, the mindset, in my opinion, is I'm thinking about our friendships first. I'm not thinking about making alliances with people to make good shows. I don't believe that. I don't believe the whole, oh, I tried to align myself with Toya. I don't believe that. I think Toya has showed up in many times in these recent years, especially since her and Jackie have been distant, as a better friend than anybody else on the show, which is why she gravitated towards her. She shared that on the show. She said, this woman's husband cooks for me. She comes to my house. She takes care of me. Simone is thinking about the friendships. And that is why she's always at a distance with Heavenly, because Heavenly is always doing something to be divisive and show she's not really a good friend. She's just here to make good TV. And that was her issue with Quad. Her issue with Quad is you get up here and you get to boo-hooing and you get to playing the victim and you get to make everybody think that we're picking on you. But in all reality, you're isolating and ostracizing yourself because you're not a good friend and you don't want to own up to that. And what she's saying is, me, myself, forget about the rest of the friend group. Me, myself, I have reached out and tried to be a good friend to you, and you still have not reciprocated that. And you have the nerve to sit up here and cry like people are always doing things to you. You're full of shit. Which is another reason her and Toya gravitated towards each other, because they both have Quad's card. They both know she's full of shit. It's not plain to see. Actually, it is. It is plain to see. You know what I'm saying? So I think with Simone, it's not about, oh, I'm buddying up and making alliances and being no snake. No, I approach this opportunity as we're going into this as a friend group, and we're going to do a show. Not we're going to make good TV and sacrifice our friendships to do it. No. No. And I think Simone struggles with that. But the one thing I love about her is she stands 10 toes down on that. Because every example that she was giving throughout her whole speech was basically her sharing about how she's been a good friend, how folks have not been good friends to her, what friendship means to her, what she's willing to do in a friendship, and even with her marriage. She said the same thing in a marriage. When her and Cecil was getting divorced, the number one thing she said is that if I cannot feel love in my marriage, then I don't want to be in it. Not I want to be in it because we got kids and we got money and we got businesses together. No, I need the love. And that's basically what she was saying about the friendships. You know, y'all showing up on TV acting like we're cool, but doing all of this weird shit when we're not on camera, and then saying, but we're friends, we're friends. Are we? Are we? Which is why she blurted out, I will shut up if she's honest. But if she lies, I'm talking. I'm here for Dr. Simone. Yes, that's right, Dr. Simone talk. Now, this is where Dr. Simone messes up at. Number one, I don't think, y'all leave my aunt alone. I don't think when my aunt gets so wrapped up in what she's feeling, she begins yelling because she's so passionate about what she's feeling. I think when she's yelling, she doesn't hear anything or anybody else. I really, really don't. Because I honestly believe in my heart of hearts, and y'all, we could come back to this video and I bet you I will be proven to be true. I bet you Simone is going to say when Quad was saying, Simone, Simone didn't hear Quad, Andy, Bravo, Purveyors of Pop, or nobody else. She was hell-bent on getting her point across because she was so passionate about what she was saying and feeling. I honestly do not feel in my heart of hearts she went in with the intention to gut punch this girl about a death in her family. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I think she was so enthralled in you're lying, you're always playing victim, I've been good to you, you have not been good to me, and I'm tired of it. And she was trying to express that, and it just went all over the place. She hooting, she hollering, she yelling. I don't even think she heard Quad. I don't even think she saw Quad crying. And in all fairness, one would argue maybe she did and didn't get, who knows? Right? But for me, that was my feelings about Simone. I don't think that Simone went in it to be malicious to Quad, but I do think that Simone, along with Toya, is fed up with Quad. And I think they're tired of her playing victim when they keep extending olive branches, and then she tries to come on the show and act as though she's been doing the same all along, knowing she's been distant and discontinued and out the way up until the camera started rolling. That's my feeling about Aunty Simone. All right, let's get on to Quad. Right? And let me say this, right? I don't dislike Quad. I don't know any of these ladies personally, so I do not dislike Quad. This is my feeling about Quad. I do not think Quad is genuine. That's my feeling. She just gives me that everything is, you know, I wake up in the morning and I'm headed to so-and-so house. Let me look in the closet and see which actress I want to be today. Okay, boom. I want to be Angela Bassett. Let me put that costume on. And today, that is who I'm showing up as everywhere I go. Quad had a guest appearance on TGIF, right? I loved who Quad was on TGIF. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was playful banter. It was, you know, the southern drawl, the little, you know, tap in, tap out. She knew how to, like, make the things flow. She knew how to gossip. She knew what to say at the right time. She knew how to be phony and do her little giggle and laugh. She knew how to give you the shade. I appreciated Quad there on TGIF, right? On Married to Medicine, Quad is not interested in being these ladies' friends at all. What she is interested in is collecting her check. The reason why the issues keep coming into play is because, as I said before, some of the ladies, Jackie, Toya, Simone, they are thinking of their genuine friendships, right? So they're thinking of when we're off camera, we're still checking in, hanging out, doing what we do. And we're also not embarrassing or disrespecting each other on camera because of our genuine friendships, right? So when you are not friends with any of us, when the cameras are not rolling, when you do show up and you give this phony, theatrical Angela Bassett mixed with a little Whitney Houston, mixed with a little Diana Ross, you know, whole bravado, we're all looking at you like, who are you and what are you doing here? And now you're looking back at us like, oh, you know we're family. You know I love you. You know you my girl. Am I? I have not heard from you or seen you. Then on top of that, when you show up like we should be happy to see you and like you're just the star of the show and we should all bow down. No. And see, with Heavenly, she is happy to see Quad because Quad is another person that she can have drama with for what? To keep the show going. To keep the show going. Heavenly has said some nasty, mean things to Quad and about Quad. Quad even said, the next time you do it, I'm going to have to end this friendship. So you can't tell me that Heavenly just wants Quad around because we're besties. No, I want her around because I can do these type of things to her, which makes for reality TV gold. The other ladies are not interested in having Quad around to disrespect her and belittle her. They're actually trying to say, can we be friends? But not just for the cameras, off cameras. And Quad is saying, no. No, off camera, I'm over here with Yandy and them. I'm in South Africa. I'm living my best life. I'm with my family. We doing what we do. I'm not answering no phone calls, but I will check back in if I think y'all mad at me to maintain some level of correspondence. Because when I come on the show with my uniform on and my costume on, I want y'all to accept me and embrace me like we've been friends all along. And they are like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. They have all expressed, we're not doing that. And I never forget even her own friend, Funky Doniva. In the last year's reunion, he said to her, Quad, as your friend, he said it on camera. He was doing a review of the reunion. As your friend, you're coming across very inauthentic.
Quad, the jig is up. I'm telling you as this somebody that watched the show, and I'm telling you this as a friend. You need to read the room, and you need to read the comments. And people are just over this whole Miss Perfect act. It is reading on camera as so fake and phony, and it's going to come back to bite you in the ass if you do not find a way to find a balance between making TV and authenticity, because it's coming off real inauthentic right now, and I'm just giving you the real fucking deal.
And it always comes across like that to me. And again, on a show on TGIF, I love it, girl. Do your thing. I don't care about getting to know the real you on TGIF. I care about you spreading the gossip and giving your little opinion very dramatic. I can appreciate that. But on a show like this, we don't want that. Who are you? And I think you always try, so your other approach was to show up like you're unbothered and the star and life is so great and grand. And I think when folks humbled you about that, then now you try to come back and use the emotional approach. Everything is a breakdown and I'm so torn down and crying with not even no tears coming out. And Jackie was looking at Quad. She was like, what you was saying, Andy? And that's exactly how she used to look at Mariah. Because it does not come across genuine. I'll give you examples of the things she does that's so disingenuous that it irritates you. Because it's right in your face and she must think the viewers are stupid, right? So your whole thing was Dr. G was not good to you in a marriage. And one of the things that you said was he was physically abusive. Physically abusive from you to you. You had to get out that marriage, get away from him. Now it's done. Okay, fine, it's done. Now you run into him at the Met Gala, and in an effort to try to make it seem like you're so unbothered about not being with him. Can I just... For what? Didn't you say he was beating the shit out of you? Hug him for what? Why do you even want to engage him? Because you were just telling us for 3 seasons straight how he disrespects you, belittles you, doesn't appreciate you, putting his hands on you. What do you need to hug him for now? So that wasn't genuine. That was just to prove that I don't want you guys to think I care that he's remarried because life is so grand for me. And you didn't need to do that. You could have just been cordial. Hello, hello. But all that, can I hug his neck? That was phony, Quad. Again, inauthentic, disingenuous. And you wonder why people think this. Then you're going to turn around in the same breath and say, well, Dr. G said he's put his hands on me. He said, no, I wasn't. You put your hands on me. You said he's a liar, he's a liar, he's a liar. That's what you preach, right? Okay, everybody sided with you. Oh, Dr. G, that's not cool. Whatever the case may be. Now, fast forward, he also told you in the same breath when he was married to you, the time that you say he was lying, that when he was dealing with Phaedra, she asked him for $4,000. He was lying about not beating on you, but he couldn't possibly be lying about Phaedra asking for the $4,000. Why? Then you sat up there, you said to Phaedra, no, I want to continue our friendship, because I would never drag you. I would never do that. Then you turn around on TGIF and drag the poor lady for Phil.
Well, I do hear what you're saying in regards to that. I do understand that she wants to keep her spot because the Candy Birds benched her for 5 years. So I do understand her wanting to keep her married to Madison. However, how could she come in if she's brand new to this particular group? Why would she come in and say, well, Miss Quad needs to humble herself? How do you know that? Where are you getting it?
Quad, you cannot see why people think these things? Are you really this tone deaf? Can you really not read the room? And for me, it's irritating. It's very irritating. So when I see her up there giving all of the giving the whole dramatic speeches and the fake tears. And to me, it doesn't resonate with me. I'm sorry, it does not resonate with me. It doesn't, because I don't think any of it is genuine. The reality of it is you don't need to be on the show, not because you're not reality TV gold, because this is not the show for you, because this show, most of the staples here are centered around friendship, and none of these ladies are your friend. Not even Heavenly. You guys just want to do reality TV together to make it gold so you can get paid. None of you guys are friends. None of you. And not that none of them are friends with each other. You're not friends with any of them, and none of them are friends with you. And that's the reality of it. And that doesn't mean that they dislike you. Because I'll give an example. I don't think Jackie dislikes you. I just think that she feels like we're not friends. We're not connected. I think that Dr. Simone was trying to when she saw that you weren't trying. So we're not friends. We're not connected. I think that Toya wants to, because she actually likes you as a person. But then you show her you're inauthentic and disingenuous, so we're not friends. I think Heavenly doesn't want any friends. She wants to create reality TV gold. Y'all are not friends. So why do you want to be on the show? Go take all of your talents and pitch them somewhere else, i.e. Malaysia, and get you your own show. You're talented enough to do it, Quad. Even if you can't get your own, maybe you can join another ensemble cast. Because you are good for reality TV. You're very theatrical and dramatic and all of the things that we like to see, like on TGIF, but you're not good for Married to Medicine, and I think you need to hang it up. And my issue is stop pretending like you don't know what's going on here, or you're being picked on or bullied. That's not the case. That's not the case. You're playing victim. And what the audience is doing is allowing you to do so because you know how to put on that costume and become an actress and get folks believing the monologues that you give. But they make absolutely no sense. And like I said, Dr. G, the example I used for Dr. G, that was a perfect example of how they make no sense. You cannot say in one breath how bad this man treated you, how much he disrespected you, he beat your ass, but as soon as you run into him with his new wife, can I just hug his neck? For what? For what? All of it is a performance. And it's not working here. I'm not saying it won't work anywhere, Quad. It's just not working here. So I think it's time to move on. Right? But they said everybody got their new contracts and everybody coming back. We'll see. In any event, that was what I felt about the reunion. Right? I think it's an atrocity what happened to Quad's niece. I will keep her family in prayer. I do believe that she is heartbroken over that. But I don't think that had anything to do with what was taking place in this moment. I think Quad was more heartbroken that Jackie felt like that. And I don't think she was heartbroken because Jackie per se felt like that. I think what I told y'all, Jackie is the Giselle Bryant of Married to Medicine. So I don't want her to feel like that about me because I know she's Queen Bee here. I don't want to be iced out. Look what happened to Mariah. So that's my review for Married to Medicine and what's going on thus far, what has happened throughout the season, what I feel about these ladies. We still have reunion part 2 and reunion part 3. Now it's gonna get ugly because Dr. G and them gonna come out. Dr. G and Dr. Damon gonna have some little dialogue. We're gonna see how that goes. Also, Apollo is scheduled to show up, so I'm excited about that. So we'll see how this goes. In any event, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the thumbs up so y'all can get me in the algorithm and get me flowing and going. Also, if you have some commentary or some feedback about what I said about this review, please drop it down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in.